For the most part, we are focused on energy efficiency, and we focus on the homeowner as our customer. So there's really three primary service lines that we operate in. First of all, we work on energy assessments, where we go into customers' homes. We look at all of the potential work that they could have in their home, and we make recommendations for energy efficiency upgrades. We then also perform some of those energy efficiency upgrades. So the second main line that we do is weatherization work itself, and then the third is heating and cooling work, a lot of times lately with heat pumps, since everybody's pushing towards electrification. We focus on a few different areas of the home. First of all, one of the first things that we look at is from a safety perspective, because anything that we do has to be safe, and we can't leave the home any worse off than when we found it. And so we have to look to make sure that there's no existing issues that would cause mold, or that there's any kind of air quality issues like vermiculite or asbestos or anything like that. So that's one of the first things that we look at. As long as all of that is clear, then we're focused on insulation work and heating and cooling work primarily. And so really you can think about energy efficiency as trying to minimize the amount of energy it takes to heat or cool a room. And so the idea of focusing on both weatherization and heating and cooling is that you're getting both the generation of that heat or that electricity and the thermal envelope that keeps that within the home. And so you're really tackling both of the biggest parts of that problem, the generation and the containment of that energy. So at Homeworks Energy, our mission is energy efficiency simplified, which has been a core to how we've decided to operate the business. One of the things that's important to remember that for homeowners, all of these different programs that states and federal and utilities and governments are trying to put out there are great, but they're very confusing for any individual homeowner to understand. They're very confusing for a contractor to understand as well. And so what we try to do is simplify that process as much as possible. A lot of the work that happens in these programs, when you get to a customer and you can provide them the incentives and the rebates and things like that, it really is a no-brainer to move forwards. And the reason, but it's not that every single house has already done it. It's because it's so complicated to get to that point. Whereas if you could simplify and make it a lot easier for the homeowner, everybody would do this in a heartbeat. And so our real intention is to come in and make the process as smooth and simple as possible, because that in and of itself is going to help transform the majority of these homes. So what makes a job truly successful for us is going to be the impact on the customer and their family, their lives, their comfort level, things like that. So one of the main measures of that success, one of the things we do after every interaction we have with the customer, is we actually send out a customer survey. After every assessment we do, after every install, after every service visit, we send out a survey to get their feedback on not just the work that we did, but also whether it had the intended effect that they were looking for. And that's just been a very important part of our feedback loop to help make sure that we're providing the highest quality and customer service that we can. I wanted to make sure that I was doing something that the simple version would be to say to help them make the world a better place, but energy efficiency was an obvious place to look at there, especially in Massachusetts, where the program is so strong and is putting a lot of effort behind that. Just really made it a great opportunity to not just be able to take on, for me, an exciting adventure in terms of starting a business and growing it and trying to turn it into something, but knowing that every single thing that we did, every customer that we handled, was actually working to make the community and ideally the world a better place.